So that's a big chunk off there, but it's going to be increasing quite rapidly, but we need you to clean up over here, too. And you know what? We have enough points that I'm willing to do it. Happy birthday, everybody. A little more movement speed. Can't wait till I get a sniper rifle with a rage injector and make the zombies fight each other. Come and get it! Guys, if you think this Let's Play is going to run a little long for a Flash game, you haven't even seen me play Rebuild yet. That's a strategy game. How long do you think that takes? Okay, so let's have a look around for that factory that may or may not exist while we still have one zombie active, because the second game let you choose when you leave the level so you could explore for secrets and goodies. This one, once you've done whatever the game asks you for, it immediately forces you out of the level. Oh, that zombie was packing. Could have been packing something bigger.
Whew. I just thought of something. When I killed him, my hand doesn't shake anymore. I'm becoming a killer.
Well, that's a bit erroneous, isn't it? They're already dead. Can't kill that which doth not live. But you can blow them into tiny pieces. Yeah, I don't think there's actually a factory in Zone 1. Alright, that's fine, I guess. So this time we're going to mix it up a little. We're going to start with the factory. That way we'll be earning income as we capture the tower. I'm pretty sure we can handle it at its current threat level. We pretty thoroughly cleaned it out. Probably should have saved that for a troll or something, but whatever. The AR worked before. Still got a couple of barrels. I'm not really detecting enough threat for there to be a troll. this has to be the factory. This is the outer wall. I'm getting really lucky with crits.
I found another packet of fast food. This food will kill me before the zombies do.
Okay, now we could upgrade that to a level 2 factory before we even capture the tower. But I'm feeling a bit adventurous. Visit all the territories and all the areas. Oh no, this doesn't have the one where I have to, like, explore. Oh no, there it is. Explore 7 regions in 40 days. We got 23 days remaining, and I'm already more than halfway there. Cool. So... yeah, we're gonna upgrade the factory. More money. Now, see, this sort of min-maxing strategy, this munchkinning bit that I'm doing here is not possible in Decision 2, and there's a very simple reason for that. Your upgrades are dependent upon storehouses, and you find storehouses over the course of normal missions, so you can't actually, like, get the highest level of anything until you have enough storehouses for the materials for it. So that forces you to limit the kind of upgrades you get until you've actually explored the full area. Although I suppose min-maxing is still possible if you just ignored weapon upgrades and focused solely on, like, engineering upgrades and maximizing your factories and stuff like that. You could still munchkin it to death. Is kind of what I'm doing right now. A little bit. Just a smidge. Some of these zombies, I'd say they take a licking and keep on ticking. The problem is, they weren't ticking when I started, they're not ticking afterward. I'm not killing them, I'm re-deading them. They were dead, and then somebody undid the death, and now I'm redoing it.
I'm so tired. I really need to go to sleep.
So we got a level 2 factory. Now we can capture the tower. Once again, we're looking for the Jenny. So, yes, at this point, this game is starting to get a little samey. Your senses do not deceive you. Again, it's important to contextualize that this particular installment was the first attempt. They got ludicrously more complicated, involved, and in-depth in the subsequent installments, which is why I think Decision 2 is much better than Decision 1. Whether or not you prefer Decision 3 kind of depends on how you feel about its new survivor management gameplay loop. I personally am not a huge fan of what they did there, which is why I kind of prefer Decision 2. Because you end up not being able to upgrade defenses because you don't have enough survivors of a specific type. And then you basically have to grind out areas you've already cleared just to get more survivors, which is really annoying. Like, you don't even have that problem in Decision Medieval. Like, that's not even an issue there. Because there, you build defenses and they are manned, but you don't need to actually amass survivors to man the defenses. They just kind of appear out of the ether if you have enough money for it. But in Decision 3, oh no, you need, 2 engineers and 3 soldiers to man this particular defensive facility. And it's like, but I don't have 2 engineers and 3 soldiers. Well, you better play maps or locations you've already done and try to see if they randomly spawn, because they spawn randomly. So yeah, Decision 3, good idea in concept, but the execution was bad. Like, either make the survivors consistent for a specific map point, or make it so that maybe you could just, like, hire people with gold instead of having to physically recruit them.
I'm used to the smell of these creatures. Before, I tried not to breathe.
I'm sure that got you far. So now we can tower assault, and that costs no money, which means I'm maxing out engineering. I'm blowing the whole wad into engineering. God, yeah, your run ability for all those of you who've been bitching about me not upgrading my speed, it's more expensive than the engineering. It's more expensive than health. In fact, the only thing more expensive is the melee ability. It's almost as expensive as a minigun. It's more expensive than a grenade, and almost as expensive as a rocket launcher when you max it out. So no, I'm perfectly happy not to have stressed the run upgrades, you pedantic fucks. Oh, that's an army guy. That's a SWAT guy. Yep, we're running into the tougher zombies. We're gonna have to start focusing on, like, health upgrades and, slip through. Someone did.
The day went by fast. It's not boring in this city, even if you are alone.
Yeah, my factory profits right now exceed my mission profit. So no, my strategy works. My strategy makes sense. So, we're going to be doing recon for the first run. But we definitely want to up our ante just a bit, so let's get an explosive option. And some more health, which is stamina here. Oh, I can afford that too. Alright, so we haven't maxed out our arsenal, but we have broadened the spectrum of tools that we have at our disposal. Got a rocket launcher, we got some grenades, you know how it is. Yeah, you gotta keep the army pukes at a distance or else you'll just get gunned into oblivion. Oh, hey there. Now, what do you know? I invest in the upgrades for the missions in which they specifically become necessary. Because you can't just wing it with base speed and an M16 anymore. You gotta have a little bit more oomph. Yeah, these higher difficulty enemies appear much earlier on in the sequel decision too, because here, the sort of threat level for the early map positions is capped, and that gives you an opportunity to. That gives you an opportunity not to have to worry about these types of enemies.
Bomber 2!
I'm getting Hotline Miami flashbacks with the fact that I'm aiming so far ahead of myself that my own character model basically disappears, so if something snuck up behind me, I'd have no way of knowing. He had a shotgun. It's best to keep those enemies at a distance, as you might imagine. We've still only reduced the threat level by about half, so everything we've eliminated, there's another good chunk of them around here. That's fun. Losers. Literally took a mag dump. Yeah, the grenade does more damage, but it has a more limited range than the rocket launcher. Either that or it just has a bigger splash area and the rocket does more damage. Either or. Threat level 0. Area cleared. Oh, look, a bunch of zombie corpses. A clear sign of my passage through this region. My W key just tried to fly off my fucking keyboard again. I still don't know why it does this, it's the only key that does it. I know it's probably where, because if you game, your W key takes a lot of abuse, but if I press the bottom part of the key, it works fine. But if I press the top, the weird little scissor jack on the inside that keeps it clipped to the metal hooks on the actual board just decides to let go, and it just pops up tail first, and if I don't set it down while it's still in that position, it becomes a nightmare.
We're all become the same as a zombie.